Good evening, everyone. Is it okay? Yeah. I don't know if my career is remarkable, but I know why I'm waking up every morning. I'm here to talk about CSR, but not CSR as corporate social responsibility. I'm here to talk about common sense revolution. I'm here to talk about transformation of our business practices. And the Ecosystem Fund has been designed with the purpose of creating a shared value for Danone and a lot of small economic actors in the territory where we do operate. First of all, why are we looking for transformation of our business practices? When you put such a mission at the heart of your business model, which is to bring health through food to as many people as possible, you need to be as much as possible consistent. Consistent through what you sell and consistent through how you perform your business. Oh, I'm not going to lie to you. There are many contradictions we need to overcome. But by acknowledging the challenges you can see on the slide, we're trying every day to do our business differently. Our portfolio has been assessed as among the most coherent with the healthy mission that we put at the heart of our business model. It is a very important first signal to the community with whom we cooperate that we can build different business models by selling this type of product: dairy, water, baby food, as well as medical food. And what we're trying to do along the value chain of Danone is to maximize our socioeconomic footprint through labor-intensive model, to provide as much as possible healthy food. You can see on this current slide that we have 1 billion people suffering from malnutrition, but more than 200 million people suffering from obesity. Use the natural resources in a sustainable manner. We, in 2050, will be 9 billion people on the planet. We could need at least 2 planets to answer to the needs that we can forecast for 2050. And last but not least, share the value. 50% of the total assets are now belonging to only 1% of the worldwide population. So what can we do to perform our business in a different way and try to bring our little contribution every day to those challenges? I want to stress one point before entering into the Ecosystem Fund. Everything has been a question about leadership, and it starts from our chairman, Antoine Riboud, in 1972, who made a speech around the connection between our company and a set of stakeholders. Our responsibility doesn't end at the door of our factory or offices. And then his son, Franck Riboud, who's been launching 3 most innovative funds since 2005, took over this way of doing business, this culture, and tried to accelerate it since the early 2000s. On overall, around the 3 main innovation fund that has been created, we have 200 million euro invested on the field to try to create this shared value for Danone and for the stakeholders we are operating with. So what is the ecosystem about? I was mentioning that CSR is common sense revolution. It is just about common sense. This fund has been created in 2009. 100 million euro has been allocated to this endowment fund in the middle of a crisis where a lot of large corporations decided to disinvest from their value chain. And so what we tried to do was about common sense. Why? Because basically, if you are an FMCG company, fast-moving goods company, you need to have a dynamic on the territory where you do operate. And the first dynamic is about employment. So we knew that this financial crisis will end up with a social crisis. So what can we do to invest into different type of business model that generate employment? And second is because we feel that a lot of our subcontractors could be in danger, and mainly the small actors we are cooperating with. And from this journey, we end up with another new journey. It was not only working with the small actors that was already in connection with Danone, it was to extend and push as much as possible the relationship with the small business players in the territory where we do operate. So this fund is an endowment fund. We are granting different type of programs which are co-created by a subsidiary of Danone in a territory where we do operate and a non-for-profit organization. We are basically putting together a set of competencies, complementary competencies, and view to build up new type of business model. And as I said, it is about labor-intensive, or at least professional empowerment of the people that are basically at the bottom of the pyramid of this economic system. So we're doing things around sourcing, working with small farmers of subsistence mainly. We're working with small distributors, street vendors, micro distributors, small shop. We are working with waste picker community. There are about 15 million people today in a very informal business. And we're working, last but not least, with caregivers. Just to give you an example, we are missing today something like 250,000 caregivers in Europe to take care about the aging challenge in our countries. So those are the people that we're trying to build a new business relationship with. And to do so, we have to invest on their capacity. We have to build up capabilities. Because there is one thing we can't compromise with, as you can imagine, is the quality of the product we're selling to our consumer. Yes, it is possible to have a good yogurt with a milk produced by a farmer who's got 2 cows. But to do so, it requires to shift your mindset as a buyer and to shift your mindset as a logistic operator. Let me show you a short example on one area we're working, which is the recycling, the community with waste picker. This morning, I heard about a comment regarding mineral water, and I understand what is at stake about the impact of mineral water today. But what I want to stress is that today mineral water is not fighting against tap water. Mineral water is an alternative to soda. It is extremely important to take this into account. So it's a way to provide water in different type of situation instead of drinking soda bottles. And also as well, they are part of the world on which unfortunately you can't get access to tap water. So this, I close this bracket and let's have a look at the small movie.
Ella es mi mamá. Cuando sale a trabajar, mis abuelitos y yo todavía estamos dormidos y no podemos verla. Se llama Graciela y su trabajo no es fácil. Se pasa todo el día separando la basura para que mañana se pueda reciclar. Dice que con tanto sol es como trabajar en un horno. Ni siquiera tienen baño ni agua.
Me puse muy contenta cuando supe que Bonafont decidió apoyarnos con una plancha de separación para los materiales y se nota que Bonafont pues está preocupada también por el medio ambiente. Ahora sí nos hicieron la vida más ligera. Podemos separar y reciclar más botellas en México en un lugar más limpio y más seguro.
Cuando en la escuela escuela me preguntan, ¿y en qué trabaja tu mamá? Yo les contesto, es ecologista, la mejor del mundo.
So, of course, you can say that our first responsibility is to reduce packaging. And this is what we're trying to do. Just to give you an example, first of all, we reduce the weight of the bottle. We are challenging the sleeve approach. We are challenging the pickup. And this is very important to do so. On one of the bottles of Bonafont, 80% of the plastic is coming from recycled packaging. So I don't want to say that it is an answer of the challenge of packaging optimization, but this is a way to show you responsibility on the end of life. But beside this, the question of Graciela here is to have dignity and to have an increase of income. By operating this, we help the pepenadores to increase their productivity by 30% and automatically their income by 30%. So today, where do we are? We have been implemented 50 programs all around the world with 40 non-for-profit organizations. 50 million euro have been engaged, and we managed to attract 44 million euro co-funding from different types of institutions to address this type of transformation of business practices. The common interest, as I described, is about people empowerment, professional empowerment, and we have reached today something like 27,000 people empowered. Job creation is about 4,000 people. And the rest is about consolidation or moving from informal to formal economy. Besides this, we're not doing this, as I said, with an objective of charity. We're doing this for competitive advantage, and I will keep this for my conclusion if you don't mind. We could be part of the solution, but we could be only part of the solution. We need to co-create. I was listening to one of the speakers this morning who was highlighting the necessity altogether to bring those solutions to transform the way we do operate. We need to work with non-for-profit organizations. We need to work with institutions. We need to work with business school. We need to work with university. We need to work with local authorities. So there is a new governance ongoing in this type of project where altogether we're trying to compromise. Because co-creation is about compromising, but keeping your objective in mind. When an NGO is coming to me and said, everything is fine, I'm starting to be concerned. The people need to disagree. It's normal to disagree in order at the end to find out the best compromise. And this is what co-creation is about. So complementary of skills, complementary of vision, and complementary of network. Besides this co-creation, what we're trying to do today is to create this social value. So I've been requested to share with you how we intend to measure the social impact. Briefly, 2 elements of the social impact beside the 50 ongoing initiatives. First of all, we put a reporting system which is certified by Ernst & Young, on which we're trying to report both the social value, means number of jobs created, number of people empowered, and we put a definition between the empowerment, as well as the local economic value that is generated through this type of new business model. So far, around the 50 programs, there is already 20.5 million euro turnover generated by cooperative of farmers, generated by those small distributors, generated by this waste picker self-help group. So those are a first output also as well for the local territory in terms also as well of tax. And beside this, we launched 11 studies, quantitative and qualitative. If you're interested with this type of measurement approach, which is pushing you to reintroduce into companies, say reintroduce on purpose. Human science are coming back to business, and it's a good thing. So anthropologists, sociologists are coming to help us to assess and see what is the path of change that we have to go through in order to scale this type of new business model. So today, our challenge, we are in the middle of the bridge. If you launch innovation, it is to transform your business mainstream. And this is all about scaling. So after 5 years, we end up with 8 types of different models that you can see on this slide. Around sourcing, no surprise, creating capabilities for farmers, smallholders, such as cooperative self-help group, demonstration farm or reference farmer who are teaching to their community peers, and last but not least, institute of zootechnician. There is a big need of access to knowledge, to know-how for the smallholders to develop their agricultural practices. You can see a caring institute, which is basically helping the people to settle their own business, providing a service around the well-aging and well-growing. 2 types of model, so-called model, sorry, I should have said that, you need to localize. There is no model. There is 60% of an operating model, and you always need to localize according to the local context. One around the watershed production, and last but not least, recycling unit that you saw. This is a big plancha, big recycling one. We have smaller one in Brazil, for example, in Argentina or in Indonesia. Today, there is around 170 people who are supporting this type of inclusive business approach, sharing their know-how on the web, trying to bring some solution, not reinventing the wheel, connecting, for example, Ukraine milk farmers community with the one in Egypt or in Morocco. And this is a big process of knowledge management, as you can imagine. At the end, what it does for a company, I think it's bringing the opportunity of doing a different job with more meaningful, let's say, energy. Transforming the business practices, as you saw, is a big opportunity for sourcing, access to resource, license to operate, as well as new interaction with the consumer. And last but not least, what I would like to challenge today, beside the social impact that we have to demonstrate, there is another things that we have to demonstrate every day to engage our business community. It is about the competitive advantage. We need to rethink the way we assess the business performance. Those type of projects are carrying on some sort of intangible assets, business assets that we have to step by step valorize, such as the reputation, such as the license to operate, such as the prevention of risk, and last but not least, the type of engagement you can get from the people who are working on this type of project. So this is about what we're doing. Again, thank you for inviting me and share this experience. You're more than welcome to have a look at what is happening with Danone ecosystem, and I will be glad to answer to any type of questions at the session. Thanks a lot.